presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are St. Louis.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And tonight from Milwaukee, game number 1 of a 3-game series. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers. Beautiful weather, Summerfest happening here in this town, and also baseball beginning tonight. Mike Matheny's club against Milwaukee this year. They are 7-2. The run differential plus 35. And in the previous series against the Brewers here in Milwaukee, they went 2-1. Cardinals have been a great road team this year. We'll see if that continues this weekend. That's the Matt Ungarian, Al Hrabosky. Jim Hayes is also here. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jimmy Nelson will get the call for the Milwaukee Brewers here this evening. Really has struggled against the Cardinals in his young career. On the other side, speaking of a young pitcher, it's Michael Wacha, and he's using that changeup a little bit more here this season.
You know, Dan, when he first showed up in 2013, he was a 2-pitch pitcher. He threw the fastball and the changeup. The last couple years, trying to be a more versatile pitcher, he's added the cutter and the curveball. But I think it's hurt his changeup. So this year we're starting to see, after a dismal May, he's starting to throw more and more changeups, and he's becoming a better pitcher and a winner of late.
When you come to Milwaukee, you know you've got a tailgate, whether it's football or here in the summer with baseball, and that's what's happening right now. That group ready to head inside because we have baseball coming up. It's the Cardinals and Brewers on Fox Sports Midwest. is through. The Cardinals tack on 2 more. Garcia gets the bunt down. It's a 3-0 lead. Diaz, left field, gone. Piscotty, grand slammer! He got him, and the Cardinals have their first sweep at home in 2016. His warm-up tosses, his numbers this year, 5-7 this season, and the right-hander struck out 4, gave up 3 runs on 7 hits, 2 walks, 6 innings over the weekend last Saturday against St. Louis. The strike to Greg Garcia, and we're underway from Miller Park in Milwaukee. Third time this season that Garcia is batting leadoff, as Matt Carpenter is on the mend. Unfortunately, not in this game, not in this series, and not at the All-Star game, out with a sore right oblique. And the 0-2 pitch to Garcia. Take it low. Greg is hitting .344. He'll play third base tonight. Jim Hayes will have more on Johnny Peralta throughout our telecast. Couple of home runs and 10 RBIs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Big gap in right center, and the next from Nelson.
Nelson has never defeated the Cardinals. He's 0-4 with an ERA at 8.5. Garcia is 1 for 2, an RBI and a walk off of Nelson, and the walks could be important. 4th most walks in the National League for Jimmy Nelson.
There's a chopper that's hit to second base. Scooter Gennett with the play, and that's the first out. A reminder that Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Bud Light Lime, by Chevrolet. Visit your local Mid-America Chevy dealer for great prices on the all-new 2016 Malibu. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Statue of Robin Yount just outside the ballpark. The Hall of Famer was part of the 1982 Milwaukee Brewers that lost to the Cardinals in the World Series. Diaz is out number 2 here in the top of the first. So Nelson has gotten the first 2, and along with Al Hrabosky and Jim Hayes, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Roof is open. The paneling beyond the right and left center field wall is open as well, so the ball could be flying tonight. And And Matt Holliday has 27 career home runs against Milwaukee, followed by Piscotty, then Adams, Molina, Grichuk, Wong, and Walkup.
Well documented that Holliday's had his troubles this year at home. Just 3 for 28 on the homestand, but a .316 hitter on the road with 10 home runs and 31 RBIs.
No balls, 2 strikes. Hyundai pitch arsenal for Jimmy Nelson. Fastball, slider, the curve, and change.
You see a high percentage of fastballs by today's pitching standards. So he'll try and get ahead of you with a fastball, then try to get you to chase the slider or breaking ball off the plate. That's where he gets up so many walks.
The 0-2. Matt has driven in 51 this season. That included an RBI 2 nights ago. But 9 of his 51 RBIs have been against this Milwaukee club. He really loves to hit in this ballpark and against this team. Lucroy sets up outside. The 1-2 pitch misses there. Evens it up at 2-2.
And Dan, that's why it's really a problem for the Cardinals when Peralta's not in the lineup, particularly when you're playing against Milwaukee. He's a .381 hitter in this ballpark, getting better, and I'm sure Jim Hayes will give more on Peralta's progress.
The 2-2. And he struck him out in a 1-2-3 inning for Jimmy Nelson. The Cardinals will counter with Michael Wacha. He's on the mound when we come back. And some Wacha fans as they anticipate his start here tonight. The Brewers are 10 games below 500. The Cardinals 44-41. Michael beat the Brewers in his last start, 2 runs over 5 innings in an eventual 9-8 Wild win on Sunday. Take a look at his last 3 starts and what has stood out for you, Al.
Well, I think the fact that his velocity's gotten a little bit better and he got away from May. But now you're seeing he's attacking the strike zone more with fastball, more changeup, keeping him honest. You know, a tendency to that cutter, some people believe that it hurts your velocity over time. And, you know, you're seeing him really accentuate the downward plane. And that's what we were not seeing in May. His last 6 starts, he's 3-1.
Against the Brewers this year, Jonathan Villar, the switch hitter at the plate. Michael, 2 runs in 11 innings. Overall, 5 career starts, 3-0 against this crew. No balls, 2 strikes on the leading stolen base man in the National League, Jonathan Villar, and he carved him up on 3 pitches, elevated that fastball at 95, and picks up a strikeout.
Well, Dan, that's how you do it. You know, you throw downward, downward, downward. Your changeup is down in the plane. But if later in the count, if you want to elevate with a fastball, you do so to get him to chase. That's where Yadi's calling for it. And a ball, particularly left-handers, most of them, you know, universal are going to be low ball hitters. And so if you can elevate the ball at the top of the strike zone or even higher, get them to chase, you get the swing and miss or a pop-up.
One out, nobody on. Here's Scooter Gennett. First pitch is hit out of play. You know, it's probably something we don't talk enough about. We look at velocity. We look at how many times somebody throws a changeup. But what about just the good old-fashioned change in the eye level of a hitter?
No doubt. And also the mannerisms on the mound. He looks like he's ready for this assignment.
Ground ball, backhanded by Adams. There's Wacha at the bag. Nice play by Matt Adams. Villar, Gennett, then Ryan Braun batting .322 to lead their club. He'll dig in with 2 outs and nobody on. Jonathan Lucroy, Chris Carter leads their club in home runs and RBIs. Kirk Neuenhuis, Hernan Perez, Ramon Flores, and Jimmy Nelson. Look at Craig Counsell, took over for Ron Renicky a year ago. This will be his first full season at the helm of Milwaukee.
You look at this lineup, it's Ryan Braun, but you got to make sure he doesn't beat you. He's 4 for 6 lifetime against Wacha.
More and more teams looking at how to rest their everyday players, and that includes Ryan Braun. He sat on Wednesday, off day yesterday for the Brewers, so he comes in fresh with 2 days off. Ground ball, broken bat, hit to third. Garcia, low throw, and an error on Gregg, his third this year. Just tried to baby it over there, and it cost him.
Exactly right, Danny. You know, just too easy. You know, expecting the ball hit a lot harder. It's a broken bat, and you get a little ball over there, fields it cleanly, but just kind of goosed it over. Didn't try to, you know, get on top and really throw it. The ball sails. Adams couldn't pick it up, and the inning is extended. Would have been a great 7-pitch inning where that play was made, if the play was made.
And you make a good point, Al. 7 pitches as opposed to what would happen after this now. Something that gets overlooked with the errors, the pressure that you put on a pitcher with the runner on, but also just you extend innings.
Yeah, you just add pitches, and that takes away from the longevity of the evening. And one of the things too, though, is, and I really, maybe I'll concentrate a little bit more about his mannerisms, but this is where Wacha really looks like he's in charge, he's in control. He's telling those guys, get in the batter's box, but you won't be there long. And with that, you know, it really does translate down to hitters that they say, okay, it's going to be a tough night.
This is a Brewers squad that loves to run. 72 steals this year overall. That leads all of Major League Baseball. They've been struggling, though, here in their last 10 offensively. They've dropped 7 of those games, and they've scored just 34 runs in their last 10 games.
There's still 2 games over 500 at home.
And that pitch taken outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Dan, they just came off the series, and you mentioned that Ryan Braun was rested. You know, in the last game of the series in Washington, they won 4 out of 6 against Washington. So if they get a lead late, they have the ability to close it out with a pretty good bullpen.
Here's a 1-1. Fly ball lifted down the right field line, slicing towards the line and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs and a runner at first. I'm in complete agreement with you. Michael Wacha and his mannerisms here from the get-go. Looks like a different pitcher when he had that horrific 6-game stretch.
Oh yeah, in May, you know, it was just awful. Worst stretch of probably his professional career. But since that time, June and July, early in July here, he's gotten much better.
And the 1-2. Back to Michael Wacha. Runs it over to first and flips to Adams. The Brewers strand a runner. We played 1, and there's no score. to Al Raboski's Toyota, keys to the game.
Well, let's just make a final push to the break. We got 3 more games, and then you have the All-Star game. Remember now, you're going to pick up ground. If you win today, the next 3 days, you're going to pick up ground on either the Pirates or Chicago Cubs. And right now, the Pirates have a 3-1 lead over the Cubs, and that's in the 4th inning.
And that's Jake Arrieta in that start. Diving stop by VR. Gets up, throws high. And Piscotty, with that ball that winds up in the camera well or the seats, will take second base and a base hit.
Base hit, and then the air. Millard, very nice play to get there, but compounded it by throwing the ball away.
It'll be his 11th air this year.
Well, you see here, he dives, scrambles, comes up, and just airmails it, goes into the camera well, comes back onto the field, but since it left the playing field, it's an extra base for Piscotty.
Brings in the struggling Matt Adams, 0 for his last 22. Longest such streak in baseball, although he is hitting .396 with runners in scoring position.
It's really a shame too, Dan, because he really got hot at the middle of May and then started having the back issues, and then he found less playing time, but he did have 22 at bats, all hitless on the last homestand.
The 0-1 pitch. Adams pops it foul and out of play. The Cardinals on the road averaging 6 runs a game. Take it even further, it's 6.01. Only one other team in Cardinals history has been better. The 1930 Cardinals, in which every player with over 300 at bats had a batting average over 300. That's the only time in the history of baseball that has happened. 0-2 pitch. And that's a drive into right field, caught by Ramon Flores, and Piscotty wasn't sure if that ball was going to get down, did not tag up, and he stays at second base.
Ball was hit so hard, Piscotty had no chance to get back and tag up. But really hit that ball hard, Adams.
Ryan Braun with 9 outfield assists in left, New and Ice in center. Ramon Flores is in right. Perez, VR, Jeanette, Carter along the infield. Jonathan Lucroy is behind the plate. Brings in Yadier Molina.
Talking about scoring 6 runs a game on the road. Team is 25 wins on the road. If they had a normal home winning record with this type of record, 10 games over 500 on the road, the Cubs would be looking up chasing the Cardinals.
They just have not taken advantage of playing well and doing their job at home. And that right now is the difference of the first half. Now you can look at the errors. You can look at when the pitching's going well, the hitting isn't there, or vice versa, where everything hasn't clicked. But usually you can count on the Cardinals winning somehow at home.
And you think about all the problems the Cardinals have had. Every aspect is correctable. And there's enough time for the Cardinals to do so and get right back in this race.
1-0 pitch is a high fly ball lifted into right center. Nieuwenhuis with the catch. Piscotty will tag. Throw is at third as they try to cut it off with VR, and Piscotty advances to third with 2 outs, and it brings in Randall Grichuk. Well, for Randall Grichuk, yesterday solo home run wound up being the game-winning RBI, and he's had back-to-back multi-hit games. Seems more comfortable, Al, at the plate after that stint at Memphis.
Well, I think the biggest thing that I've noticed, and the thing that I'm most pleased with, is you're seeing him make contact. You know, there was a hanging breaking ball. We saw it. He's 5 for 8 since he's come back from Memphis, but he's recognizing the off-speed pitch, not chasing it as much.
So 2 outs, and the first pitch is taken for a ball. Grichuk, the 7th place hitter in this lineup. Colton Wong is on deck. Runner at third, Stephen Piscotty, as we play here in the top of the second. When you look at Jimmy Nelson, the numbers stand out about what he has done against St. Louis. 6 career starts, 0-5. ERA is over 8. That's the highest ERA of any of his opponents that he's faced. And he's really struggling, whether it's against the Cardinals or anybody else. He hasn't won since May 29th. Brewers have lost each of his last 6 starts.
When you kind of look at these two starters, they're going in opposite direction.
Here's a 1-1.
You know, May was horrible for Wacha, but he's gotten much better. May was good for Nelson, and since they turned the calendar the last couple months, he's just really struggled. He's lost 5 of his last 6 starts with a 6.75 ERA.
Here's a 1-2. Grichuk taps it off the plate, charging the third baseman Perez and gets him by a step. Cardinals strand a runner. We're midway through 2, and there's no score. Peralta not in the starting lineup again tonight. With more on that, let's check in with Jim.
Yeah, Dan, Johnny has missed the last couple of games because of that sore left thumb. He took some swings in the cage earlier today. He told me the thumb was much better, no pain, so much so he felt like he could play tonight, said he was ready to go. Mike Matheny told me he would love to get Johnny back in the lineup because, quote, we haven't even seen him get hot yet. But he said we won't put Peralta in unless he's healthy. Johnny, by the way, a .347 career hitter against the Brewers, .381 at Miller Park. So they'd love to get his bat in the lineup once that thumb is squared away, Dan.
And Jim, how close was he to being in that starting lineup even after batting practice tonight?
He was getting watched very closely by Mike Matheny. Had some good swings. I think there were others. He was just working on timing. I got the sense, though, that Mike wanted to err on the side of caution and see how he is tomorrow, Dan.
All right, Chris Kreider here at the plate to face Michael Wacha, underway here in the bottom of the second. Kreider is 6th in home runs in the National League and launches one out to center. Grichuk looks up and it's gone. 21st home run for Chris Kreider, and he's driven in an even 50 this year.
Driven in over 110 runs the last 4 years. 4 straight years he's had 20 or more home runs. His number 21, as you said, it's the 8th home run allowed. And there's the ball up over the middle of the plate. So not the downward action that we were hopeful for, or high enough in the strike zone to put him away.
He jumps up to 4th with those 21 home runs. Chris Bryant of the Cubs with 25. Nolan Arenado, outstanding third baseman of the Rockies, He has 23. All-star for the first time, Adam Duvall with 22, the Reds, and now 21 for Carter. Here's an 0-2 pitch to Kirk Neuenhuis, and he strikes out. Second strikeout for Michael Wacha. Got him with the fastball. Around the Horn is brought to you by Dobbs. Holiday in left, Grichuk in center, Stephen Piscotty is in right. Garcia, Diaz, Long, and Adams along the infield, and Molina is behind the plate.
Now, there's nothing you can do about the home run. That's already in the record books, but you can go back and be very aggressive to the hitters. He did that with Neuenhuis. Now he has to do it with Perez.
Pass along special birthday wishes to Joan Hunt. Joan has been kind enough to come out and support my golf tournament, the Special Education Foundation, year after year, and happy birthday to Joan. Hernan Perez at the plate, no balls and 2 strikes. Breaks his bat, slowly hit to short, charging Diaz, and he makes the play. MLB.TV Premium, #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in high definition on over 400 supported devices. Free subscription to @Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. 2 outs, and here is Flores.
Pumping strikes, isn't he?
He sure is.
That's part of telling the offensive player that, you know, I'm ready for you.
The changeup taken a little bit low.
Boy, you like that location.
Sure do. I was about to say that, Al. That's the changeup that we saw a couple of years ago that finishes down in the zone.
Remember, he was a 2-pitch pitcher when he came back after being sent down in 13.
Popped up down the left field line. Holiday is over, out of room.
He had a workable curveball that he could show hitters and give them another pitch to think about. And then he started incorporating more and more cutters. Well, some people believe that the cutter will take away velocity from young pitchers, and when it doesn't cut, you know, it's a great pitch when it works, but when it doesn't work, it's like a BP fastball. It's real flat, less velocity in the middle of the plate.
2-2, another broken bat. Third that Wacha has gotten here tonight, and a ground ball that's hit to Adams and flips to Michael Wacha. Home run by Carter, number 21, 1-0 lead. Jack's new triple bacon buttery Jack. Limited time only at participating restaurants. And by your local Volkswagen dealer. Roof open here at Miller Park in Milwaukee. 1-0 Brewers on a solo home run from Chris Carter. His 21st and his 50th RBI. Brings in Colton Wong as we flash back. It was Saturday against Jimmy Nelson. This ball gets by Flores in right field. And Wong would drive in 2. And the Cardinals had a sweep over the weekend against the Milwaukee Brewers. This time he sends a fly ball out to left center field. Neuenhuis is over to make the catch. It's always interesting, you know, you just saw them last weekend. So what adjustments does a pitcher and a hitter make in the one-on-one confrontation that you have in these games?
Some of that depends on what you did in that last time you faced him. But I thought it was maybe the best we saw Nelson ever pitch against the Cardinals. You know, he only gave up 3 runs, but you know, for somebody that's has an ERA of 8.5 against you, you know, that's pretty good. 3 runs.
Had a shaky first and then settled in. Here's Michael Wacha. 1 hit this year. He's 1 for 30 with 1 sacrifice.
Wacha hasn't joined all the fun the other starters in the hit parade. He's trailing that bar by plenty. No bragging rights for him. Both these starters are throwing a lot of strikes.
But Al, there's always the second half.
Oh yeah.
Wipe the slate clean. 2-1.
But if you want to bet, and I know there's no betting in baseball, but I'll bet on one of the other guys.
I'm with you. The 2-1 pitch. Line just foul. Wacha trying to duplicate what we saw yesterday from Adam Wainwright. Jim had a really interesting report this past week about just some of the tendons and the muscles around the Achilles for Adam Wainwright. They weren't to the strength where they needed to be. That injured leg in which he ironically injured in April in this ballpark a year ago. But boy, was Adam Wainwright good yesterday as the Cardinals salvaged a game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Maybe the best we had seen him pitch this year.
Yeah, I think you can make that argument, and that report was interesting.
As Wacha draws the walk.
I said that, you know, he's the 4th most walks. That's his 45th walk for Nelson, 4th most in the National League. Took a pitcher to get it that way.
So here was Adam Wainwright as he matched his season high with 9 strikeouts. What stood out to me, Al, that pitch right there.
The curveball was really, really good. Been using it more, but I mean, it had the good traditional 12-6, the bite on it, and you know, it also had a fastball that he could spot. He looked like he was ready for the second half.
And a strike taken by Garcia.
And I think, you know, what Adam shared with us about the Achilles and the muscles around it not firing, I think it was also complicated because mentally we all thought that it came back in September. It was in the bullpen, little 1-inning events. It wasn't magnified. And I thought, I haven't talked to Lilliquist about this, but I thought all the starters, by design, they were backed off in spring training. I don't think they threw enough in spring training. And I think my proof is that they all got off to a bad start for the season.
That slapped the other way and a base hit for Garcia. Advancing to second, Michael Wacha. Well, if you can't watch us on television, you can now stream games live on your mobile device. Just go to your app store and download the free Fox Sports Go app. Log in, stream the Cardinals wherever you go. It really is, to further your point, a cautionary tale with Wainwright, with Johnny Peralta coming back, with Matt Carpenter at some point. Just because you're off the DL doesn't mean you're back at 100%. You know, we always say, well, he's going to be back on this date. Well, he may be back, but he's not 100%.
Yeah, and that's why I think I agree with the Cardinals. It's bad to put out a date because so many things could happen as you're trying to get to that date. And if you don't meet it, then everybody's going to say, well, what's wrong? Did you have a setback? So they'll be back when they can be back. And Moss, I put him in that category too with a sprained ankle.
Here's Diaz, and he looks at a strike. Aledmys on the first pitch, grounded out to third.
Looks like he thought it was inside. Our home plate umpire, Will Little, said no, but if they want to pitch him inside, do it, because that's the pitch he turns on and hits out of the ballpark.
No balls and a strike. Will Little, the home plate umpire. Ted Barrett is the crew chief. He's at first. Gabe Morales at second. Lance Barksdale is down at third.
Seems like clubs, they learned their lesson pitching inside for strikes against Diaz.
The 1-1. Ground ball that's hit up the middle. Here comes Michael Wacha. He'll score, and this game is tied. Aledmys Diaz driving in his 45th this year, and it's a 1-1 game.
What is it about the road for Diaz? He was 5 for 10 on a 3-game hitting streak. 1 for 2 right here, so he's keeping that 500 average, but he was hitting .371 on the road, third best in the National League, and gets the Cardinals on the scoreboard. Now let's add to it.
Jonathan Lucroy steps out in front of home plate, goes on the infield grass, sets the defense in these spots. Runners at first and second, good speed with Diaz at first, Garcia at second base, and here is Holliday. Just get the feeling that Matt is ready to bust out.
No doubt about it, and he hits so much better this year on the road. He's traditionally a great second half hitter. Let's get started a little early.
Well, you mentioned the walks. That's now 45 with the walk to Michael Wacha, 45 in 103 innings. So it averages out just about 4 per 9. And that walk, he's got to be kicking himself to a guy that's 1 for 30 comes around to score.
No doubt.
Here's a 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cardinals have dominated in this series, as we talked about in the open, having won 5 of 7. And as a matter of fact, the Cardinals have either won or split the last 13 series against the Brewers. Here's a look at the splits for Holliday. The 1-1. Milwaukee hasn't won a series against the Cardinals since April of 2014. That's a long time for as much as these two teams play within the same division.
And it just seems like the Cardinals just dominate, whether it's at home, but they hit so much better here.
Holliday struck out swinging his first time up, the lone strikeout for Jimmy Nelson tonight. Two and two. What is pretty amazing, even though the Cardinals have not played well at Busch Stadium, home record at 19 and 26. We talked about how they could have made up ground against the Cubs. St. Louis is still only 8 games out in the Central. A win tonight and a Cubs loss, you're 7 back.
That's right, the way you got to look at it. But first you have to take care of your own business. You have to win your ball game, and then you hope the baseball gods are kind to you and you pick up ground.
The 2-2 pitch. Holliday chops it up the middle. That's a base hit. Here comes Garcia. Waved in, he'll score. Diaz to third, in safely. Aggressive base running by Aledmys Diaz. 2-1 St. Louis. It's a walk and 3 consecutive singles for the Cardinals, and the medical team out to look at Matt Holliday.
Oh boy. Obviously looking at the base hit up the middle, the running at third and home. Adam Olsen, the head trader, check it out. Ankle. So immediately Billy Miller pointed to the dugout and said, get out here. Hopefully it's just that little situation where, you know, you take a false step and your foot kind of goes wacky one way or the other, and then all of a sudden you get off it real quick and you don't do any damage. But
as you mentioned, it does look like the ankle and not the right quadriceps strain that sidelined him last year. Ouch.
Says he's okay, so they'll keep an eye on it.
You don't need to see his face on this graphic, on this list. Carpenter, Peralta, Moss, Brian Pena, Kevin Segras. That's been a big loss for the Cardinals late in games. The injuries have piled up here at the end of the first half. Holiday with the RBI, that's now 52 and 10 against Milwaukee this year. And it brings in Stephen Piscotty, hitting .444 with runners in scoring position. Well, don't you love the fact that Diaz gets to third on a risky play, but his speed comes into play going first to third.
Well, remember, Mike Matheny's never going to criticize you on a play like that because he wants you to be aggressive. Now, if you get thrown out by 30, 40 feet, you're making a mistake. But if it's a bang-bang play and you get thrown out, you know, I think he's willing to say, you know, more times than not, you're going to learn what your limitation is, and we have to, because they don't really station to station team. They don't steal bases. They don't really manufacture runs. So that's one thing they can do, go first to third.
2-0 pitch, pulled foul. Lesser runners are thrown out on that play. Kirk Nieuwenhuis is a pretty good defensive player in center and wasn't necessarily playing all that deep with Holiday up.
Ground ball up the middle, and, you know, I mean, it's one of those situations where he's got to do it all the decision making himself. You can't rely on a third base coach in that one. But if you start off running hard and continue to run hard, so be it.
2-1 pitch taken inside. As this at bat has been going on, I've been taking a look at Holiday, and you see the defense here for Piscotty. Initially he was limping towards the bag at first base, as you see Nieuwenhuis shading from the sun.
There's one little sliver out there in center field of sunlight.
3-1. Piscotty pops it up. Will it get out of play? No. Carter is there. It's a key out for Jimmy Nelson.
Oh, Piscotty's been so good at driving in runners in scoring position, and there you lose an opportunity with just one out. Nelson got what he needed, was a pop up in the infield. Maybe it just creates an opportunity for Adams that if he can deliver with 2 outs here, boy, that would be so big for not only the score but also for his own psyche.
Lined out to right, first time up. Runners at first and third as we play in the top of the third. And a 2-1 St. Louis lead. Strike one. The Brewers have talked about openly the fact with their fan base, as you get a look at numbers, runners in scoring position. Adams at 396, Piscotty on that list.
How about John Jay in between the two Cardinals?
Unfortunately, he's been out with a
wrist
fracture in his forearm. The 0-1. Adams skies one into shallow left. Ryan Braun calling for it, and he makes the play. Keep an eye on Holiday during the timeout. It's 2-1. The Cardinals score 6. Any size drink, just 50 cents the next day. That's coffee fountain, frozen drinks. When they score, you pour. It's your nearest on the run. You earned it. Cardinals with a lead of 2-1. 3 consecutive base hits following the walk to the Cardinals pitcher Michael Wacha. And a 2-1 St. Louis lead.
See, Wacha can't go out there and continue that stare down or just going right at there and attacking hitters.
Jimmy Nelson 3 for 29 at the plate, followed by Villar and Scooter Gennett. One thing that Michael, even when he was struggling that 6-game stretch, what he had was a good fastball. The velocity did not dip. But we talked about the downward plane and the changeup being down in the zone. We're seeing more and more of that.
And actually, recently, he's starting to, velocity has picked up at least a good mile per hour.
And a strikeout of Nelson. So first time through the lineup, Wacha gives up the home run to Carter, and he strikes out 3. AJC Healthcare difference maker this season starts in May, went 0-5, but as Al talked about, June and July he's been a different pitcher. 3-1, 3.38 ERA.
Cut down his walks, throwing more quality strikes. I think you'd almost have to guarantee he's pitching more ahead in the count.
One 1-0 pitch is hit out of play. 8 of 10 first pitch strikes, always a key.
5 out of every 6 pitches he's throwing strikes too.
Hit the other way. Garcia, nice play. He was hit on the grass, and there's 2 down. So 33 pitches, only 7 balls.
First inning, he had to throw 4 extra pitches because of the error. You have a couple errors behind you, and it could add up to a 1 less inning pitched.
Scooter Gennett with a high fly ball hit the other way. This ball is off the wall. 1 hops. Holiday has it. I was more watching Holiday than the baseball as it traveled there, and 1 hops off the wall. And Matt, while not running hard, did not seem to be limping after it.
No, I did the same thing, and and you're exactly right. He wasn't running 100%, but it really didn't matter. And he got right there, catches it off the first bounce off the wall, and gets it back in. So it didn't look like he was favoring the leg at all.
Now you have Ryan Braun. He's hitting .365 with runners in scoring position. Reached on an error by Garcia, left stranded back in the first. Came in hitting .322, 4th in the National League. League leader Daniel Murphy, second baseman of the Nationals, at .346. Strike 1.
And as a pitcher, you really have to believe that you're going to give up solo home runs. Make sure they're solo and not 3-run home runs. But also you go out there with the attitude that, okay, I'm going to give up some hits here, maybe a walk there, but I'm not going to allow it to be a string of like 3 or 4 hits in a row. The Cardinals scored off of Nelson with 3 consecutive 3 hits that followed a walk.
Slapped foul. Mentioned that Ryan Braun has no trade clause, limited in his contract. A lot of talk about he, along with the man on deck, Jonathan Lucroy, in the next 3 to 4 weeks could be dealt. They are primarily West Coast teams for Braun. One team on the East Coast, that's Miami. But when you look at the teams that could take on his contract, many of those teams do not need outfield help.
Yeah, maybe San Francisco would be the only one, but when you have a limited no trade clause, you still can be traded to any club. It usually means they'd have to pay you more money to buy out that the no trade or the limited no trade clause. So you can always make a deal.
Here's an 0-2. And Braun, a swing and a miss. 4 strikeouts tonight for Michael Wacha. We played 3. Redbirds on top in game 1. It's 2-1. Coverage of baseball is brought to you by T-Mobile. Jake Arrieta starting tonight against the Pirates, against Francisco Liriano, struggling here lately. Steven Strasburg, he's against the Mets, 11-0 this year. And Matt Harvey done for the season. Thoracic outlet syndrome. Jaime Garcia's had that. Chris Carpenter's had that. Piled up the innings a year ago, pitched into postseason play and the World Series, and now he's done for the year. It's a big loss when you think about the potential of where the Cardinals are with the wild card and the Mets. And we have not seen New York yet. Washington ahead of New York by 3 games in the National League East. Miami 6 back. The Cardinals start 8 games back of Chicago. The Pirates 8.5. San Francisco with a 6.5 game lead over the Dodgers in the National League West.
That is now a 3-3 tie, mid-6 between the Cubbies and the Pirates.
Molina fly to center. First time up. And he looks at a strike, and it's 3-1. Missouri Lottery Fox Tracks.
Just working down and away to Yachty.
We had the chance to visit with some of the personnel here at the ballpark that run the Fox Tracks, and you see that pop up on your screen, and this is the same for any of the ballparks. When you see the 1, the 2, the 3, or the 4, the sequence of the pitches, that's where it crosses the plate, not necessarily where it's caught by the catcher. And there are ways that they can do that to measure that in the offseason, set it up. And they believe it's just about as perfect as you can get, because they take hundreds of different angles with this to set it up precisely.
See, continues to work away. And in my mind, that kind of works right into Yadier Molina and his ability to take a ball and hit it to the opposite field.
3-2 pitch. Molina puts it into play. Hernan Perez, long throw, low in the stretch by Carter for the out, and Molina is 0 for 2.
Instead of trying to take that pitch to the opposite field, he rolled over on it. That's where you get the ground balls to third or short.
You think about the first half and what's gone wrong with the Cardinals. Grichuk was penciled in cleanup man, everyday center fielder. Colton Wong, everyday second baseman, was sent to the minor leagues. Both of them. Your closer is no longer the closer in terms of Trevor Rosenthal. Your pitching got off to a very slow start, the starters. Then when they got on track, it was the bullpen that became unraveled a little bit. What it all adds up to is it just hasn't clicked, and it might in the second half, may not, but that's some of the issues the Cardinals have had.
Well, the success the Cardinals have had recently, you have to believe that their best baseball is yet to come.
1-0 pitch.
Now, hopefully, they could stay on the pace. They're the only team in baseball this year that has started out with 5 starters, and the same 5 have made every start this year. No other team can make that claim. And I think you're absolutely right when you talk about Grichuk and Piscotty, Wong, you know, guys that are young, but we thought they were ready to play every day.
Hit to short. Jonathan VR committed an error earlier, makes the play. Grichuk go for 2.
No one's complaining about Piscotty by any means. You know, very good offensively and defensively. Grichuk, I think, such a high ceiling. Colton Wong, it's the same thing.
Do you think Piscotty should have gotten more recognition potentially for the All-Star game? Never really heard his name talked about all that much.
The problem is when your team doesn't win and you're not playing better baseball as a collective group, you know, you end up with like only one All-Star invite. First time since 2007 the Cardinals only had 1 player invited to the All-Star game.
This year it is Aledmys Diaz after the injury to Carpenter. What a story Aledmys has turned into.
And I think no one doubts that he doesn't, you know, he does have the numbers to go to the All-Star game. Has been such a big surprise.
1-1 is lifted in the air out to shallow center. Nieuwenhuis calling off BR to make the catch. Cardinals go in order. We're midway through 4. St. Louis on top by a run. Of 3 catchers currently on the roster for the Cardinals. More on that. Let's check in with Jim.
Dan, he's back in the big leagues and he's planning on making the most of it. He was signed as a minor league free agent. He was batting .341 at Memphis before he was called up by the Cardinals. He told me he fancies himself a student of the game, and he has literally hours and hours of Yadier Molina video on his iPad, and he spent hours studying it. He told me the thing he admires most about Yadi, this is a quote, he must have the slowest heart rate in baseball. No matter what's happening, there's zero panic. McHenry played with the Rockies twice and the Pirates. He says the thing that always struck him about facing the Cardinals, they seemed like they always expected to win, Dan. And he's media friendly. When he was with Pittsburgh, he told me when he was hurt, he filled in as the analyst on the pre and post game shows.
You may have a new partner.
How about that?
Now, when you look at it from a pitcher's perspective, this is Jonathan Lucroy at the plate. What would you take away as the best aspect of throwing to Yadier Molina?
Wow. I think that you could, you know, I'm in that era where you want to call your own game in the sense that, but when I've got a pitch in mind and Yadi puts that same pitch down, then you really absolutely feel like Superman, and that's the right pitch. You know, everybody raves about his ability to call a game and how creative he is to help you get out of situations.
First walk issued by Michael.
And that's not what you want to do to lead off an inning, but there's so many aspects to Yadier Molina and how his brilliance behind the plate. But I did hear McHenry's comment about the slowest heart rate, and I really like that. But his ability to just, everybody tries to slow the game down, but when you can make it so slow to where, you know, you see everything, and I think that's what is amazing, is his awareness of everything that goes on around him.
Carter pulls it foul. When you think about all the postseason games and those high pressure games, late innings, late in a series that he's been a part of, and to be able to slow it down is something that all the pitchers talk about. To really guide a pitching staff through some of the biggest moments in this franchise's history, in recent history.
How many times has he seen an injury before anybody else to a pitcher? Or an awkward throw, a landing, or does something, a wince, and finds out about it before anybody else.
People ask us all the time about Yadier Molina. I say he's a baseball savant. His IQ is off the charts. Not that others aren't smart in playing this game, but he's at a different level. 0-2 the count on Carter. His home run back in the second was number 21.
Try to pitch up over the middle of the plate, so we know he can hit that one, so stay out of that zone.
Outfield is deep. They are straight away. And a swing and a miss. He is struck out for the 109th time this year. Want a great deal on tickets? Fill up at Phillips 66 with 8 gallons or more. Now until September 29th. Receive up to 50% off on a pair of tickets to a Cardinals home game. And for more information, visit cardinals.com/Phillips66. It's strikeout number 5 for Michael Wacha. Interesting defense here with Greg Garcia way off the line at third, but on the grass, and a shift on the right side. You would think Nieuwenhuis should just be able to slap it the other way.
Nieuwenhuis, another guy, he's got 75 or 76 strikeouts with a strikeout tonight, and he's not playing every day. So
your double play could go 5-6-3 potentially. Wacha's thinking, don't worry about the double play. Let's get a strikeout.
Yeah.
Struck him out swinging back in the second inning.
Last year with the Mets, he hit under 200. Actually has one more home run this year than he did all last year, 5 versus 4.
Just missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So with 2 strikes, Garcia backing up to what would be the shortstop position. We talk all the time about the infield shift. Not nearly as much about what defenses do in the outfield. There are shifts out there too with pitch to pitch.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, like you say, pitch for pitch. A lot of times, you know, as a pitcher, you want to turn around and see where your defense is playing and pitch accordingly. But the way they switch pitch for pitch, you can understand why a pitcher would be locked in, just concentrating at home plate and not know how his defense is set up. Really big gap out into right center for Neuenhuis.
Short lead at first by Lucroy. The 2-2 pitch. And he struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts and 6 tonight for Michael Wacha.
Struck out 3 of the last 4. And he's got the changeup working again. There you see the circle. Obviously, when it bounces right there, he's throwing it on a downward plane when you're 6'6". His arm action is so good on that changeup. And of course, there were times in May where he really didn't have the good fastball command, which did have an adverse effect on his secondary pitches.
Hernan Perez right off the mask of Yadier Molina for strike 1. Let's see Yadi there. He says he's all right.
That's another aspect, just how tough you have to be a catcher.
Season high in strikeouts, by the way, for Michael Wacha, 9. Did that back on April 28th against Arizona. We're only in the 4th, and he already has 6. 1 ball, 1 strike.
We had that crazy game a couple of years ago in New York, where he almost, it was virtually struck out just about everybody but got a loss. And he didn't go deep into the game, and he came up with a couple big flies, I think.
It was very windy that night at Citi Field. Bad weather. And Wacha was on first time through. Fox Tracks presented by Chevrolet. Runner at first is Jonathan Lucroy. He walked to start the inning. Strikeout of Carter. Strikeout of Neuenhuis, and a 2-1 pitch here to Perez. Hit up the middle. There's Diaz, and he'll flip to Colt Long for the out. We played 4 from Miller Park in Milwaukee, and it's 2-1 St. Louis. Division by 3 games against Washington. We're in inning number 5. Michael Wacha walked and scored his first time up back in the 3rd.
And I looked it up. There was back in 2014. He struck out a career high 10 batters. He's done that twice now. We get the Mets, including the first 9 batters of the game, but he got an L. got a loss in that game. So it looks good, it looks flashy, but when you get an L, that's the bottom line.
And as a young pitcher, just like many organizations will do, get deep into pitch counts and all of a sudden you're out after 5. As you've always said, the strikeout is fine. It's glitzy, it's glamour. Sometimes you need it. But when you strike out a lot, and you know, you can't blame a guy for striking somebody out, but when it happens, the pitch count gets elevated, and especially with someone as highly thought of as Michael Wacha, and especially in one of his first few starts of his major league career, you get yanked. Two balls and 2 strikes. Garcia on deck, and then Aledmys Diaz. The RBIs tonight for the Cardinals, back in a 2-run third from Diaz and Holiday. That scored Wacha and Garcia. Cardinals trailed after the home run hit by Carter.
You know, we always talk about the Cardinals really are a ground ball staff. They pitch to contact. That's the influence of the veteran guys. You know, when you're young, you like the strikeouts, but then you find out that, you know, you don't stay long in the game. Gives you a better chance to win, you know, if you're there later. And how about this?
Wow. Again, it's worth repeating. Michael Wacha 1 for 30 coming into play.
2 walks on the night for Nelson. Both of them a 1 for 30 pitcher. His counterpart. Last time, after a walk, Diaz got a base hit. Excuse me, that drove in Garcia after his base hit, and then Holiday got a base hit that counted for 2 runs for the Cardinals.
Garcia 1 for 2 as he slapped a base hit into left. Short lead by Michael Wacha, and that pitch taken for a strike. With Clayton Kershaw injured, the National League manager is Terry Collins, and he's got a tough choice coming up. Could choose Steven Strasburg or Noah Syndergaard to start the All-Star game, which is Tuesday here on Fox. And that's a base hit in right field. Wacha to second base. He'll stop there. And it could be kind of a sticky situation for Collins, because he could be risking the health of his best pitcher this year. Syndergaard has got bone spurs in his elbow. Or do you choose to start a rival's pitcher who will be just a little more than a week removed from a DL stint? So it is something to think about.
I think it's, if you're really trying to strategize, you probably do start Strasburg. Some people think Strasburg and Syndergaard going against each other tonight, so you kind of say, okay, whoever pitches best gets the starting assignment. You know, from a strategy standpoint for the second half, maybe you start Strasburg, and then he's not allowed to, or he won't be able to pitch. May take a start away from him in the long run.
And now to throw that out the window, because we understand that Strasburg has been removed and Scherzer will take his spot. As you get a look at Arcia in the driver's seat, all time in Cardinals history. As Diaz fouls it back just below us. And it was at this ballpark where, I have to bring it up, I did save Al.
Remind me again how much, you know.
It was a vicious cut, and I can't remember who was at the plate.
Babe Ruth?
Yeah.
Babe Ruth?
No, it was Colt Wong.
Oh.
And it came back with a lot of velocity, and you, of course, were basically under the table, and before that happened, I stabbed that baseball and made sure I got it and saved you in the process.
One-handed, right?
Yes.
With holding a baby in the other.
It was really no big deal, Al. I was happy to do it, as I always am, to help you out. You were
crying under the table.
You were just ducking, and I came over, and it really is no big deal. Happy to do it.
Thank you. It's the way I remember it.
The 1-2 pitch to Diaz. hit out of play.
I will compliment you and say you do a very nice job in the fantasy camp, but you got full gear on.
Yes.
Playing shortstop.
I'm like Diaz after he was hitting Kansas City.
Right. No, you do.
It's a lot of fun.
Receive the ball well, and you get back behind home plate, catcher's gear. And
Diaz with a fly ball hit into center. Catch is made. Runners stay put. Cardinals 06 World Championship Anniversary Celebration presented by Budweiser coming up the 15th, 16th, and 17th at Busch Stadium. All weekend long, you can get exciting promotional items commemorating the Cardinals' win over the Tigers in the Fall Classic. And catch the special pregame reunion ceremony on Saturday, July 16th. For more information, visit cardinals.com/promotions.
it's next weekend.
That's right. Cardinals will kick off a 10-game homestand right after the break. Let's see if the ankle bothers Holiday at all. And for those of you that just joined us, it was a base hit by Holiday into center that scored a run. Ray Garcia. Diaz, who was at first, advanced to third. Holiday made a turn around the bag at first, and then all of a sudden got tripped up. Looked like he sprained his ankle, but stayed in the game. The 0-1 pitch. Take a look at it again, and his turn at first base back in the third. There's your single.
And one step.
Ouch.
Like the left ankle a little bit. Saw a little bit of a hop on the foul ball that he just took, but stayed in the game. Saw him in the field go after a ball. Didn't seem to be favoring the leg at all. So
0-2. For many years, my partner used to go out and throw batting practice for Tony La Russa's club. But no more, right?
yeah,
You've had enough.
trust me. The arm won't make it. The back won't make it. A few other things won't make it. But it, it's fun too because you could watch him batting practice and you could see what a hitter liked, where location, where they wanted the ball, where they disliked it. Still kind of the old competitor back then. You could kind of see where, okay, this is where I'm going to pitch you because you don't like it up here.
Sure. Strikeout of Holiday, and he knew it. So 2 down after the Cardinals received a walk and a single. A fly out by Diaz, strikeout by Holiday, and it brings in Piscotty. May have been looking for something else.
I think you have to say that. He's got 2 strikeouts on the night, both of them Holiday.
So runners at first and second, and here's Piscotty. Singled, and then there was an error on Villar, his 11th. Left stranded back in the second. Then popped out into foul territory and caught by Chris Carter. And that was with 2 on and 1 out at first and third, and one of the rare times Piscotty did not bring him in.
Scotty's 4 for 8 off of Nelson.
Piscotty lines it to short. Villar, nice play, stays down on it and goes across the diamond to Carter. Cardinals strand 2. They've left 5 on. It's 2-1. Baseball superstars come together, the primetime event that will light up the summer. Major League Baseball's All-Star Game from San Diego. That'll be Tuesday night, only on Fox. The rules changed in the All-Star Game that was held at this ballpark. Remember, the teams ran out of players. Bud Selig was in attendance. The famous shot of him shrugging as if to say, what am I supposed to do? And after that, then the rules changed, and now this one counts.
Well, and back then it was played so much different, and they had fewer players, but it was recognized more of an exhibition game, and guys couldn't wait to get out of the game and take off, and it really, became more of an exhibition than really like you said, this one counts. And Joe Torre was managing, and somebody wasn't honest with him, and all of a sudden he went to pitch, and he said, well, I can't pitch. And all of a sudden that's how he ran out of pitchers and their dilemma.
Bob Brenly was on the other side as the manager that year of the National League. Good curveball and a strike to Ramon Flores underway here in the bottom of the 5th from Miller Park in Milwaukee. 0-1.
And it used to be when you had National League and American League presidents, they would come in, make a big speech, rah-rah speech, and how important the game was, and fire up the troops. But it wasn't to the point where everybody got to play. Especially if you're a rookie, you rarely got to play in an all-star game. You had to pay your dues. But guys weren't out there, and they just wanted to flat out beat the other team, and just for the brag about how our league's better than your league. And
how about money too? Was that important more so then than now? That's hit the other way in a foul ball.
Well, there weren't that many clauses that if you got 25 grand or something like that for making the All-Star team, but there was some of that.
Yeah.
Which 25 grand might have been, that could have been 25% of your salary.
That's a lot back then.
That's
a lot now.
That's why I'm thinking it wouldn't have been 25 grand.
Yeah, wait a minute here.
Yeah.
Hold on. Flores grounds out to Colton Wong, and that's the first down here in the bottom of the 5th.
But you remember you'd leave pitchers in longer. You'd strategize trying to win a game rather than managers trying to get every player into the game, and that's how they kind of got caught too.
That's why it's kind of funny now. If this one counts and you've got a starter out there that's just rolling through a lineup, and then you take him out, and you feel obligated to keep that arm somewhat fresh. And many times it's a pitcher it would be their, let's say, their side session day.
Yeah,
it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
And also you got to be careful overextending an opposition's ace.
Yes.
Especially if you're in the same division, and you run him out there for a long time, and everything's fair in love and war.
Jimmy Nelson fouls it back. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
There was also an era where you didn't like the opposition. You didn't, anybody wearing the other uniform.
No interleague play.
There was no interleague play. You didn't. The beginning of the Players Association and agents.
Good curveball as Nelson strikes out, and that's 7 tonight for Michael Wacha. Hey, Cardinal fans, next time you want to grab seats, get the StubHub app. Not only will you find the seats you'll love whenever you want, you can find the best seat for your buck when you sort by the best value. So get the StubHub app today. Seven strikeouts and a pitch taken high by VR. See, now that fan right there, those guys, they got the right idea. Watch a little baseball, then show off your talents. Here's the talent of VR, his speed. On his way to second, and he is saved. And Colton Wong is pointing immediately to the dugout to take a look at this one.
Tell you what, there was nothing wrong with Holiday on that ball as he got over the field that near the line and really came up firing a strike. And they're not going to. So Colton Wong, he saw it with his heart. Well, look at that, just bouncing down here. Holiday comes over and cuts it off and gets that ball back in quickly. And right there, a strike. Well, Colton Wong tagged him in the chest, but his hand reached the bag first.
Might have tagged him right on his face or the helmet. Let's take a look. I agree with you. He can feel the tag there, but not realizing where the hand was.
Right.
Scooter Gennett looks at a ball down and in.
Milwaukee has 3 hits tonight. All 3 are extra base hits.
It's a backhanded play by Matt Adams. Took a hit away from Gennett in the first, and then he also doubled. Throw to third and save. And a stolen base for Jonathan Villar.
So his 29th steal. He leads the major leagues in that department. That's why Milwaukee leads with the most steals in all of baseball.
Let me ask you this. You've got Molina behind the plate. Easier throw with a left-handed bat up there. With his kind of speed, a base hit is going to score him anyway. Why is he stealing third?
Dan, that's why when you talk to Lou Brock, and I don't know what the number is, but the year he set the national the stolen base record, he stole 118 bases. I would think he had maybe 3 steals of third base, and his velocity was exactly what you said. I'm in scoring position at second. I'm going to score on any base hit, so why take a chance to go to third? Or today's Steelers, and Coleman was,
and with 2 outs.
Yeah, and Coleman was the best as stealing third. He was better at that than stealing second.
A high fly ball, shallow right near the line, and the catch made by Piscotty. Called off. Colton Wong, and Stephen Piscotty makes the play. We head to the 6th. It's 2-1. Jersey Day presented by AT&T. 30,000 fans ages 16 and older receive an adult Cardinals jersey featuring the name and number of one of 5 players from the '06 championship team. And you can get those tickets at cardinals.com/promotions.
Saw Taguchi's jersey up there.
I bet he would be back for that reunion.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
Cardinals take on Miami. First of 3 when we come back, and then San Diego for 4. And we'll wrap up the season series with the Dodgers on that homestand. Here's Matt Adams to lead it off. We're in the top of the 6th, 2-1 St. Louis. be some guys here we haven't seen in a long time. Jeff Weaver would be one. Seen him in the stands at his brother's games.
Yeah. Well, and Scott Rowland. Love
Yeah.
to see Scotty, but you know, he's been like a hermit ever since he retired.
Isn't it funny? That's how some players get. You know, when they're done with the game, they are done. They want to get away. They don't want anything to do with it for a while, and then they eventually come back. Maybe it's a coach or getting uniform at spring training, whatever.
A lot of times they get tricked in coming back to a reunion and find out, hey, it's a lot of fun.
And they miss it.
Yeah.
Ronnie Belliard, he made that great play in San Diego.
Yes, he did. That you and I have the same recollection there, that's what set the Cardinals on with that victory in that game and really propelled them to the World Championship.
Scott Spezio, his big hit against these Brewers in that final weekend of the regular season.
Triple, right?
And I'll give you a name that I think fans would give just a huge ovation to. Juan Encarnacion, with everything that he went through and has gone through since the horrific eye injury.
Yeah. Now and then I'll see something about his charity. It's my understanding he's in Florida.
Adams with a high fly ball lifted into right field. Ramon Flores under it, makes the catch for out number 1. Adams is 0 for 3. Molina is 0 for 2. He's flying to center, and that's a look at his second at bat, which wound up being a ground out, and you can understand why. Look at where they pitched him. Middle outer half. Roll over that ball and get the ground ball.
Really trying to stay out of the middle of the plate. Working down and away.
Sometimes, though, don't you think, Al, with a guy like Molina, if you pitch him away, you might be doing him a favor as well as he does to right field?
I even said it in that at bat that they were probably doing him a favor. Breaking ball there that did pull down on it.
Look at our Chevy Fox tracks. We'll keep that going throughout the at bat. 1 ball, 1 strike here on Yadier Molina. One ball, 2 strikes. That's maybe the pitch he'd like to have back.
Setting him up.
Hit out of play. So look at his hot zone. They've been inside that zone with 3 of those pitches.
Well, and that just goes to show you that just because you get a pitch there, you still have to center the ball. You still have to hit it. You're going to take a certain percentage of them. If you keep on doing it, he'll get you.
Just missed on the outside corner. 2-2.
Be quick enough on an inside pitch that you can foul it off, but look for that pitch away and take it to the opposite field.
The 2-2 in the dirt.
Don't chase the breaking pitches that are off the plate. He's going to get a base hit or a walk here.
Who's getting on base? That's what you tell him.
Base.
All right.
Put him away again.
Get out of play.
See right there, to me, I used to see that, you know, when you sign a frustration, like I got a pitch, I should be able to drive it, do something with it. And a sign that, you know, he's getting tired. But it's so valuable, they feel that they can't afford to take him out of a game.
3-2 pitch. And he walked him. All right, Al. What do you got for Randal Grichuk, since you know what Molina is going to do? Randal is 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts. Putting you on the spot.
Now, if he swings at the first pitch and hits a home run, that's good.
Yeah.
But it wasn't going to be what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted to kind of see the pitching pattern first. But I'll take the home run on the first pitch.
I figured you would. Power zone there with Randal Grichuk. Home run on the first pitch. Here it comes. Or a strike.
Some hitters will go up there and concede that first pitch. Other guys kind of do that for a lot of at bats, and then they'll trick you into lollipopping one up there, and then that's the one they swing at.
Here's the 0-1. Grichuk with a fly ball. Shallow left. Braun is over. Won't get it. It's a fair ball. And Molina ran it all the way.
How about Yadi?
And it's a double for Randal Grichuk, his 11th this year.
Give Yadi some credit on that. One out. He read that ball. That seemed like that hung up a long, long time. And it seemed like Braun should have made that play. But Yadi has to be hustling all the way. And he gets over to third base on a ball.
Well, Hungo, I'm assuming you're happy with this.
I am happy. I won't argue. And then Grichuk gets himself into scoring position on a double.
Just want to make sure you're happy.
Oh,
you'll take it.
Absolutely.
They will intentionally walk Colton Wong and bring up Michael Wacha,
who will walk to give us an extra run.
Wow. Now that's quite a statement. Wacha has walked twice tonight and scored back in the third inning. That was a 2-run inning for the Cardinals after falling behind 1-0 with the home run by Chris Carter. Cardinals came back with a walk to the Cardinal pitcher. Then Garcia, Diaz, Holiday, 3 consecutive singles to take the lead 2-1.
Well, we said that Nelson walks were part of his problem. 4th most walks in the National League, and now he's tied for 3rd in that department with 48. Kohler of Miami has 48.
Well, the Cardinals could do a lot of different things up here with Michael Wacha. I mean, he could put it in play with a bunt. He could show bunt, swing. He could be up there taking till 2 strikes. I mean, there's a lot of things that he could do.
And I'm going to say he's going to do something positive.
Bases loaded. Check swing and a foul ball.
Not sure I want to see him get hit by a pitch.
No, sir.
Kind of got cheated on that check swing. It's always a squeeze situation, but with Yadi running, I don't know if you really want to. It's not like you run into collisions anymore.
Way outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. I brought up the fact that he could wait to take a strike just because Nelson, in the 2 previous at bats against Michael Wacha, it just seemed like there was more pressure on him to throw a strike. We all know he walks a lot with a guy that came in 1 for 30 in Michael Wacha.
There he is at 100 pitches.
Showing bunt, gets it down, and to the plate, Molina is out. Very late break by Yadier Molina in a force play at home plate, and the Brewers pick up out number 2.
You got the running speed there. It is usually a very tough play to defense. It wasn't a suicide squeeze. So you can see Yadi. He's breaking here at home and give Nelson some credit. Got the force out at the plate. Usually when you get that bunt down, it's pretty tough to defend. But Yadi's running, maybe the difference there.
Here's Garcia. He's 7 for 14 with runners in scoring position. 2 hits again tonight. Slapped one to left and scored in the third. Single to right and was left stranded.
By the way, I didn't like that play, even with Wacha batting 1 for 30.
The 1-0. Garcia hits it out to Braun, and he makes the catch. Fooled him just a bit, but makes the play. The Cardinals strand, the bases loaded. Park in Milwaukee. Take a look at our What's on Tap, and that is presented by Budweiser. Carlos Martinez against Chase Anderson. Coverage begins tomorrow. Back-to-back day games before the All-Star break, and we'll come your way at 12:30 with game number 2 here from Miller Park. Well, the Cardinals had, back in the third, 2 on, 1 out, with runners at first and third. Piscotty popped out, and then Adams flied out to end that threat. Moments ago, the Cardinals had the bases loaded, 1 out. Wacha with a bunt, force play at home, and Garcia lining out to left. So they've missed a couple of opportunities to add to this lead.
And we talk about responsibility of pitchers. Wacha really needs to get the momentum back into his dugout. So it's really important for him to go and attack these hitters right now, not give in, not let them feel like they escaped and going to steal this victory now. So just go right after him.
Ryan Braun lines it into right. 1 pitch, 1 out. That will help.
You have a little luck too.
Michael has only allowed 3 hits here tonight. Home run by Carter, a double by Scooter Gennett, and a double by Bjorn. That's been it.
That ball was up in the zone, so we got to get it back down. Nelson, his night is probably through. He's over 100 pitches, and Wacha's just at 72.
And the first pitch taken low by the All-Star Jonathan Lucroy. Second time he's been named to the All-Star team. The other was back in 2014. Just the second catcher in Brewers history to be named to 2 of them. Lucroy jumps on the pitch. That was up. Left center. Gets it there, and it's off the top of the wall and gone. Jonathan Lucroy has tied it up with home run number 11. And it's a 2-2 game.
Now we said the drive out to right field off of Braun was up. Got to get the ball down again. This ball was up, so his second solo home run allowed tonight. He got up on his tippy toes right there to hit that one. There's a ball into that corner right there, and it looked like Grichuk hit the wall pretty hard, but goes over the wall, came back in. Mike Matheny wants to question that.
I'm not sure how much space there is between that yellow line and that back wall.
You didn't see Grichuk.
That's what sold it to me that it was a home run.
Exactly.
His reaction.
He didn't react as if or complaining. You know, normally when you see a ball like that comes back in, you kind of assume that it went off the top and comes back into playing field. It's in play, but second base umpire Gabe Morales was out there in the center field, and he made the call as Grichuk was going back to his normal defensive positioning.
You can also say that Holiday did not have that type of reaction either, and he had a pretty good look at it too.
Right.
So they'll make sure that this is a home run. If it is, the 11th for Lucroy and his 41st RBI. They have not showed the replay up on the video board here at the ballpark, so no reaction yet from the crowd. Umpire review, call on the field is a home run.
And they're showing it now, and it sure looks like it's definitely over the yellow line, but what is behind there that would make it bounce back into the field?
Holiday went over, and it wasn't like he threw his arms up and, you know, went crazy and thought that the ball was in. But one thing he did do was that he saw it drop and then kind of pointed at it as if to say, hey, Randall, go get that ball and bring it back in. It is a home run. May have hit the top of the wall and then skimmed that back wall and come back in.
We just don't know if there's a separation there. Maybe right up. It's really kind of that one post.
These are the best looks that we have. That looks to be a home run.
And it probably hit that back green wall.
I don't know about you, Al, but it looked to be behind the yellow line.
Yeah. Well, it's in the books now.
And a breaking ball taken low by Carter, who was homered tonight, and he struck out. And that's what he does. 21 home runs, 50 driven in, 2 balls, no strikes. See the red number 4. That's the home run pitch from his first at bat.
Just big, strong kid that, you know, just clobbers the ball.
Then take a look at the strikeout, which was back in the 4th.
Change up, and you see it bounced, and he swung at it.
2 balls and 1 strike. Outfield deep. They are straight away, and he hits one again. Todd out to deep right field, and this ball is gone. Man, does this guy have some power. Wow. 22 home runs now, and the Brewers back on top. It's 3-2.
Well, like I said, you know, I mean, Wacha's trying to do what we said, you know, that put that momentum back in his dugout by shutting them down this inning. Yachty set up inside. You see the pitches more away. And this one was a long bomb to the second deck.
Opposite field, too.
Over the Cardinal bullpen into the second deck there. And Dan, this game takes on even more importance as Pittsburgh is leading 7-4 as the Buccos are batting in. Lose to the 8th inning.
It ties him now with Duvall. 3rd most home runs in the National League with 22. Leader in home runs in Major League Baseball is Mark Trumbo. He's got 26 for Baltimore. Fastball and a strike, 2-1 on Nieuwenhuis. Back-to-back home runs here in the bottom of the 6th.
Wacha had only allowed 7 home runs coming into tonight. Matt Bowman is warming up the Cardinal bullpen.
And now a walk. Second walk issued by Michael Wacha. Bowman starting to get loose in a hurry.
Greg Lilliquist will come out and buy some time for Bowman, but we saw Wacha and we saw such a positive attitude on the mound earlier in this game. Now he's looking a little shell-shocked. If you can see that, you know the hitters can see it.
He brings in Perez, who is 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs, and Wacha needs that ground ball double play here. So Carter put the Brewers on top 1-0 back of the 2nd inning. Cardinals came back with 2 of their own in the 3rd to take a 2-1 lead, as they had RBI singles back-to-back from Diaz and Holiday, and now back-to-back home runs for Milwaukee. Lucroy and Carter.
Cardinals have had their opportunities, stranded 8 through the first 6 innings.
St. Louis in the 7th will have Diaz, Holiday, and Piscotty coming up. Fly ball out to right. Piscotty makes the catch. 2 down. 8th place hitter Ramon Flores.
They're going to pinch hit for their pitcher. That spot would be on deck, so you just can't give Flores a pass. You've gotten him out on 2 ground balls. Go right after him.
Grounded out to first, grounded out to second. Tyler Thornburg, a right-hander, throwing in the pen. Brewers did make a move. They traded Aaron Hill to the Boston Red Sox for a couple of prospects. And they also made a move with one of their young starters and sent him down because he was not going to make a start before the break. And the club has taken some heat about that locally. The young man loses roughly $25,000 by being sent down.
Rookie pitcher and pitching well. Pitching very well for them. They had been carrying an extra reliever, so now they have a full complement of 5 on the bench.
0-2.
Will Middlebrooks is at the on-deck circle if this inning is extended to the 9th place hitter.
Two outs, runner at first, no balls, 2 strikes. And the next 2, Ramon Flores. Yachty wants it up in the zone. It's down in the zone. May have been a strike. It's called a ball, 1-2.
He saw the sign up and still tries to frame it. And we talk about all the time how, you know, keep the ball down, and you saw where Yachty was calling for a pitch up. That's because you got a guy with limited power. You got 2 outs, and preferably you throw a pitch where if he hits it to center field, the deep part of the field, and you're out of the inning.
One ball and 2 strikes. Again, Molina wants it up, got it there, and it's fouled back. Bowman continues to throw in the Cardinals' pen. Thornburg for Milwaukee. Runner goes, and a fly ball lifted out to shallow left. There's Holiday. So back-to-back home runs hit by Milwaukee. Lucroy his 11th, Carter his 2nd of the night, number 22. Brewers back on top. Hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Cardinals have the heart of the lineup coming up. Diaz, Holiday, Piscotty. And a new pitcher is in. This is the right-hander, Tyler Thornburg. Thornburg has had an opportunity to pitch late in games. Jeremy Jeffress was dealing with an eye infection. He's got 13 holds. That's 7th best in the National League. Picked up his 2nd save of the season. Got a couple of outs and walked one against the A's a week ago. And we'll see Tyler Thornburg here in the 7th.
He's been around a few years now, but probably pitching some of his best. He's been scored upon in 29 of his 34 appearances this season. A lot of strikeouts, 44 and 32 in a 2/3 innings.
And the 0-1 pitch to Diaz. Didn't like the first pitch against him. It was low. He is singled with a base hit RBI back in the 3rd as he drove in his 45th of the year. Grounded out to 3rd, fly to center. And again a low strike, and didn't like it. Plaza Tire Fox Tracks. Let's take a look.
Looks down and in.
Diaz out to left, and there is Braun on the run to make the catch. Final line on Nelson: 6 innings, couple of runs, 5 hits, struck out 2, walked 4, 1 was intentional. And as Al mentioned, it's a game here, as you see the Hyundai pitch arsenal, fastball, curve, and changeup, where the Cardinals have had some missed opportunities. They have stranded 8 thus far.
But we've seen the Cardinals score a ton of runs, 7, 8, 9 this year. Those innings. So, be another game, they've got to come from behind.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Holiday. 0-2. Base hit to center field back in the 3rd. That drove in Garcia. At that point in the game, it was 2-1. He is struck out looking, struck out swinging. The only 2 strikeouts of the game for Nelson were against Holiday. And he didn't like that call. Called 3rd strike.
See if this one's not up and away. According to Fox Tracks, it catches a lot of the plate.
There's some barking being done from that Cardinal dugout to Will Little, home plate umpire. Here's Piscotty. Steven, 3 home runs in his last 7 games. Had a big 3-run homer yesterday. It was off of Archimedes Caminero. You know, we talked about Michael Wacha and throwing with that downward plane. We're seeing that here from Thornburg. A lot of pitches down in the zone.
Now he's 5'11", so that's a lot tougher to do it. Easier when you're 6'6" like Wacha.
That pitch up in the zone.
I don't remember him throwing this hard. That was 95, and he's been up and down ever since 2012.
2-1 pitch. 3-1. Adams on deck. Three-one pitch to Piscotty. Taken for a ball. So the Cardinals have received 5 walks here this evening. And it brings in Adams, who seems to be ready to bust out at any moment. The do factor.
Yeah, that do factor. 0 for his last 25. Just got underneath a couple fly balls today and hit him in the air. First time up, he hit a line drive to right. Seen 3 Brewers home runs in this ball game. Let's see a Cardinal home run.
First pitch to Adams. Let's take a look at the Kubota power stats. Adams has added 9 home runs to this list. Comparing some of the team's most home runs pre-All-Star break. Here in 2016, 111 for St. Louis. Ground ball that's hit to second from the outfield grass. Scooter Gennett. And the struggles continue right now for Adams. Time to stretch. It's 3-2. Telecast is presented by the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the accounts and descriptions of this game, and they may not be disseminated. The express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Middlebrooks will be the pinch hitter. They have 4 on their bench from the right side, 1 on the left side, Andy Wilkins, and Wacha still pitching in this game. Pitch count at 89, 3-2 Milwaukee. Middlebrooks was a highly thought of prospect for a number of years with the Boston Red Sox.
Played with Boston 2012 through 14 and traded to San Diego 2015. This year his contract was just selected from AAA on Monday. He's the first player in Sky Sox history to hit 3 grand slams in a single season.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Al. Middlebrooks was the third baseman 2013 World Series in a game that ended on an interference call with Alan Craig.
I know the play, I know that, but I'm not sure, and I trust your memory more than mine.
That's a foul ball.
The obstruction, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that call was made by Jim Joyce, and boy, he was right on it.
He made the call, and of course everybody until you really heard the explanation and understood it, you know, and you go, yeah, this is exactly why the rule was made, and allowed the Cardinals to win that game.
Just saw Tommy Pham. He's taken over in left field for Holiday, and that pitch at 95 upstairs from Michael Wacha, 3-2.
Is that a reflection of?
Ooh, he chased a ball and he strikes out. And that's strikeout number 8 tonight for Wacha. 1 away from his season high.
And his career high is 10 strikeouts. Done that twice in his career. It's got him to chase a pitch way up. But look at all those balls up and out of the strike zone. So last inning, he got a couple pitches up and 2 solo home runs.
Well, you were talking about earlier stealing third base, and you do have a good memory. Lou Brock, 938 stolen bases. Only 21 of those were of third base, and that's off of Wacha and maybe the ankle, and the play is made. He is out, and Wacha is down. Oh boy!
Well, you were hoping it'd be the soul, or but nope, that got to look like right around the ankle. And sounded like maybe the heel would have cushioned it somewhat, but right, hopefully heel, not above that ankle bone.
I was thinking initially right off the ankle bone. Oh boy.
Throw a pitch about 55 feet away, if not even 50. That ball coming right back at you. He's up. Looking to put some pressure on it, but .97 pitches. Why not go get treatment?
That'll be it for Michael Wacha.
He's walking off pretty well. So
Cardinals, it looks like they will have a double switch. Jerko coming into the game to take over, it looks like, at first base, and a pitching change as well. original 5 starters all year. Cubs were the only other team who could lay claim to that, but on Wednesday they used their 6th starter of the year, leaving the Cardinals to this feat. Teams using only 5 starters all season long, or in this case this year through 86 games. Cardinals have been on this list a couple of times in terms of 86 games, but this is since 1900, teams using only 5 starters. It doesn't happen very often.
And Dan, based on the way that Wacha walked off, as you see, as Chevy called the bullpen, as Matt Bowman will be given plenty of time. I don't think he's going to miss a start. I think, you know, because of the All-Star break, you can push him back. You know, you can push him all the way back to the 5th start of what we call the second half. And I think the way he walked off, he'll get some treatment, and I'm sure he'll tell you he's ready to go. But Matt Bowman will be given plenty of time. It shouldn't take him long at all because he was warming up last inning, ready to come in when Wacha gave up back-to-back home runs, gave up the lead.
Last weekend against Milwaukee, he appeared twice against the Brewers, each time an inning, and no hits allowed in both those innings in back-to-back games. It's David Bell on the left, Mike Matheny, and Bill Miller on the right. Well, at least they have a little smile on their face, so you get the feeling that maybe it's not all that serious.
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting to see VR on first base. I was just watching Wacha, and I never saw they recorded the out at first on the line drive right back at him.
It's a good play by Garcia to stay with it.
Yeah.
Down at third, and here's Scooter Gennett. I was telling the story about stealing third base. Brock 938 steals in his career, only 21 at third base. So put it in perspective, VR with 29 steals this year alone, 9 of those have been at third base.
Yeah.
Slap to left, and there's Tommy Pham. So Bowman gets the final out here in the bottom of the 7th. We head to the 8th in a 3-2 game. This game, Pittsburgh could leapfrog the Cardinals if St. Louis can't pull off a victory. If the Cardinals would win, they could pull to within 7 of Chicago if we see a final there with Pittsburgh defeating the Cubs. They have one lefty in their pen. Here is Will Smith. It'll be Molina, Grichuk, and Wong for St. Louis. Will Smith pitching here in the 8th with the Brewers leading by the score of 3-2. Cardinals have out-hit the Brewers 6-5, and both teams have committed an error.
They've really count on Will Smith, and he's been pretty good. Last couple of years, he's led the club in appearances. This year, he was on the disabled list. He sprained his LCL, in his knee, and spring training didn't get activated until the first part of June. He last pitched stranding all 3 runners, striking out Bryce Harper in Washington Tuesday.
And a strike to Yadier Molina underway here in the top of the 8th. Molina has flied to center, grounded out to third, and also walked. Vince Coleman had 752 stolen bases, 190 of third base.
Yeah, that's why I said he was actually perfected stealing third base. As many as he stole second, but he was could throw him out at third.
Yeah.
To get such a big lead, out there at second base and just take off the pitcher. Catchers really had no chance.
The 0-2 pitch. Court. He went down to get it. It is off the wall. It looked like and gone. Yadier Molina with a home run to tie it up. Molina with his 2nd of the year. Drives in his 28th, and this game is tied at 3.
And this is such a big game for the Cardinals, and this weekend with the Pirates and Cubs doing battle, the Cardinals could get right back in the race. You think in terms of sweeping here, but you can't sweep until you win the first one. Molina just ties it up, and there's a lot of red in the stands here. You really hurt him on his 2nd home run of the year.
Here's Grichuk, and a breaking ball taken for a strike. The AT&T high-speed replay. He went down to get it.
Drop that bat head. You think Will Smith the last couple of years hasn't been frustrated? There you see the home run off the back wall. And Will Smith got traded from Kansas City.
Grichuk pops it up to the right side. Into shallow right. Ramon Flores puts it away for the first out. Yadier Molina has tied this game up at 3. Just not accustomed to seeing that very often, but with Yadier Molina.
Now hopefully we'll see a lot more of it.
Here's Kolten Wong showing bunt. Did not go.
By the way, that was the first hit Molina had off of Will Smith in 4 plate appearances and 2 strikeouts.
First home run in 138 at bats. Just the 2nd home run allowed by Smith this year. Both have been against the righties, and he's been good against lefties or righties. As you look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal, lefties hitting just 160 against him. The right-handers 167. Breaking ball, a beauty.
Smith was traded from Kansas City to Milwaukee for Aoki.
Breaking ball again and swung on and missed. So 2 outs, and the batter will be Jedd Gyorko. Smith, it's quite the story. He missed the first 2 months of this season, had a torn lateral collateral ligament in his right knee. We hear about all kinds of odd injuries. Well, this is one of them.
Oh yeah.
Freak accident. This happened in spring training while removing a shoe. The hope was to avoid surgery that would sideline him, obviously, for the entire year.
Let's say that again, that injury. Doesn't happen every day.
Removing a shoe. There are odd injuries and then the really odd injuries, and that's one of them. Strike to Jerko, part of the double switch. 1-2 the count. Nobody throwing in the Cardinals' pen.
We love John Smoltz, but you know, one time he got injured ironing his shirt while wearing it.
Jerko strikes out. But a home run by Yadier Molina, just his second. RBI number 28. And he ties this game up in the top of the 8th. We head to the bottom half, and it's 3-3. St. Louis Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Bud Light. Raise 1-2 right now. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. It's turned out to be a gorgeous night here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And a big inning here for Matt Bowman. Yadier Molina has tied the game with a home run. And Bowman will face Braun, Lucroy, and Carter. Carter has homered twice in this game number 1 of this series. That pitch taken for a ball. Braun reached on an error by Greg Garcia. He struck out and also lined out.
Well, Matt Bowman just continues to get more and more high leverage situations. Doing a nice job.
Ground ball. Garcia makes the play.
That's what the Cardinals like from Bowman, is his ability to get ground balls. 65%.
Watch how Garcia Al gets himself in a position to throw with the momentum, with the backhand taking him across the diamond.
And of course that had a little tricky hop there, a little bit hop that he was probably not anticipating, a little bit more to his right, but was able to adjust with the hands and gunned him off.
This is the type of situation and game the Cardinals really miss Kevin Siegrist. Lucroy is homered. That was back in the 6th. That's one of the reasons why Bowman's presence has taken on a greater responsibility in the bullpen. Relief pitchers since July 1st, and that's when Kevin Siegrist went out. In innings 7 and 8 for the Cardinals. The ERA is near 6. The opponent's batting .265. That's Kevin Siegrist territory right there. 1-0 pitch. Hit sharply to short and taken by Diaz.
And we've also seen Bowman supplant St. Manus.
No doubt.
Almost at some point say, if Maniscus needs some work to stay sharp. Even with nobody on base right now, they're going to multiple singles. So just putting one finger down, they'll go to a series.
Why would you do that with nobody on?
You just make you think that you know, some gamemanship here, that somebody that they feel something is out in center field, maybe trying to, would be the first team to ever try to steal signals.
2-0 to Carter. Solo home run in the second. Struck out in the fourth. Solo home run in inning number 6 when he went back-to-back with Lucroy. Be careful here on 2-0.
Good pitch right there. And it's obvious that Carter, with 2 solo shots tonight, 22 on the year, that got 109 strikeouts. You make a bad pitch, he can explode on it. Make good pitches, you can strike him out.
Three and 1. The next 2, Carter.
Good pitch.
3 and 2.
Bowman was a starter last year in the Mets organization, led the Pacific Coast League in losses, but the Cardinals see him as a reliever with that great power sinker and his ability to get ground balls.
3-2 pitch and a ground ball that's hit to short. Diaz was going to come in on it, stayed back, and a strike over to Jerko. So that big inning with Braun, Lucroy, and Carter, they go down 1-2-3. Top of the order for the Cardinals: Garcia, Diaz, and Holiday. Greg is 2 for 4. Smith, in his second inning of work, gave up a solo home run to Yadier Molina. May just face one hitter here, lefty-lefty with Garcia. Then Diaz, and rather the spot coming up would be Pham instead of Holiday. Good breaking ball.
Smith has good stuff, and I think you'd have to say that the pitch he made to Yadi is not the typical location to hit a ball out of the ballpark.
No. Fam's shoe tops. Garcia waves at it and strikes out. So after the home run, got to fly out to right from Grichuk. Strikes out Wong, strikes out Jerko, strikes out Garcia. And Craig Counsell heads out to the mound to make the call to get the right-hander out of his pen. So as the guy said back in the studio, this is all about the bullpens right now. Our Chevy called to the pen, Jeremy Jeffress, a hard thrower to face Diaz and Pham. When we come back, you're watching Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest. And Tommy Pham with one out here in the top of the ninth. 3-3 our score. Jeremy Jeffress, who is the closer here with the Milwaukee Brewers, comes into the ball game at 2.45 ERA. Jeffress has been a guy that really in the back end of their games they can count on. He's had a pretty good year.
Dan, going into this season, he only had one career save, and his last time out he picked up his save number 23 this year.
That was Tuesday night in a 5-2 win over the Nationals. They took 2 of 3 against Washington. Diaz on the first pitch hits a ground ball to short, and it's booted by Villar. His second error of the night. And he's now up to 12 this season.
Yeah, what I liked was about Diaz. When he hit the ball, you know, a lot of times guys will look in the infield and they kind of just jog down there. He just put his head down and went straight ahead and running hard all the way. So he didn't even know that he bobbled it. And that's why as Villar recovers, we couldn't throw out Diaz because he was just running hard. Remember, he's leading the National League in infield hits, so doing the right thing. See? Puts his head down, didn't even look. Somebody will tell you after you cross first base bag what happened. So it's tempting to look, it's tempting to slow down, but do it that way.
Pham base hit into right field. And Diaz stops at second. And the go-ahead run is at second base. Tommy Pham stroking a single into right. And once again, another opportunity here for Stephen Piscotty. We know about Pham and Carter, those two.
I was going to say, pretty good night for Las Vegas, isn't it?
Yep, Carter with a couple of home runs. Pham, the base hit to right. Those two were teammates as youngsters playing on the same team and now neighbors. So runners at first and second. Piscotty has singled. He has popped out, grounded out, and walked. Came in batting .444 with runners in scoring position.
And he just talks about how relaxed he is in these RBI situations, realizing the pressures on the pitcher, not him as a hitter.
Ball one. The Cardinals have good speed on the bases here, with Pham at first and Diaz at second base.
And we talk about how mental this game is, and we always hear the word pressure. Well, pressure's just a word. It's how you define it. And a lot of guys succumb to pressure situations because they don't relax. And that's what Piscotty does in these situations. He relaxes.
Good cut and fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He said slow it down. Be able to breathe. And we see the good cut down and back.
Get word from the Cardinals medical team that Michael Wacha has a heel bruise, but listed as fine. So good news there. The 1-1 pitch to Piscotty. 1-2. We know Jeffress has got that great fastball, but would he now ahead in the count 1-2 even show 1-2 Stephen Piscotty?
Piscotty's 1 for 2 against him with a home run. Wouldn't that be nice?
Jeffress is set. Runners at first and second. The 1-2. Piscotty reaching for it. Fly ball into shallow right. Catch is made as Diaz draws the throw. Ball gets away, but runners do not advance. And it's Jhonny Peralta who will be the pinch hitter.
Jhonny Peralta talked about the thumb issue, and he said he was good to go today. And he's got good numbers against Milwaukee, better numbers even here in this ballpark, and good numbers against Jeffress. 375, 3 for 8, a double. To see him come back. Jeffress has had problem with several of the guys that are on the disabled list for the Cardinals.
So Jhonny Peralta, sore thumb and all, pinch hitting here in the top of the ninth. Runners at first and second. Ball gets away, and the runners advance to second and third.
Oh, how big is that? Just scooted underneath the glove of Lucroy.
Base hit could give you a 2-run lead. Wild pitch would give you the lead. Pass ball.
And that's got to be, in my mind, that's got to be a pass ball. Kind of boxed it.
Mentioned it earlier. Lots of red in the seats. Cardinal fans with the chant of "Let's go Cardinals" here in Milwaukee. The 1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. And Molina, who tied this game up at 3 back in the 8th, is at the on-deck circle.
A big charge pass ball to Lucroy.
The 2-0. Cardinals on their bench have Michael McHenry, Alberto Rosario. So Rosario has never appeared in a big league game. McHenry just called up yesterday.
McHenry is, they're both catchers, but it seems like they've got McHenry up here for his bat.
Two balls, 1 strike on Peralta. Just missed as Jeffress stares back into the home plate umpire. He hasn't gotten the call a couple of times, and these pitches are really close.
They're showing it's a ball. But you're right, they're close, but Johnny's Didn't lose his eyes.
So he's in the driver's seat here. 3 balls, 1 strike. Runners at second and third in a tie game here in the top of the 9th. Peralta with a high fly ball lifted out to deep right field. Near the wall, and the catch is made. We head to the bottom of the 9th as Peralta gave it a ride. It was oh so close. We're tied up, bottom of the 9th, and the Cardinals go with Trevor Rosenthal, who really did look good yesterday. 2/3 of an inning against Pittsburgh. He had that late life on the fastball, little movement to it. Did record a strikeout, and the Cardinals turn to their former closer here in the bottom of inning number 9 in a 3-3 game.
And I saw Mike Matheny talking to Rosenthal during batting practice, and I'm sure they talked about this situation. Be ready. Be ready late in a ball game. You're that close. Show me one more time that you inherit the closer's role. And I said, when they were talking about putting him in low pressure situations, that's great, that's fine, but it won't do any good until he gets this type of situation with a game on the line.
Fastball at 96 to Kirk Nieuwenhuis. Rosenthal yesterday at home was hitting 98, 99 on the gun. Nieuwenhuis has struck out twice and he has walked. Fastball and a good one. 95, 1-1.
And there was nothing wrong with his velocity. Just maybe concentration where he was getting behind, walking people. You lose that job, you want it back. Go get it.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. 1-2. Milwaukee took a lead of 1-0 back in the second. Cardinals came back with 2 of their own, 3 consecutive hits. That made it 2-1. Then Carter, another home run, his second of the game. You saw Milwaukee eventually jump out to a 3-2 lead as he went back-to-back with Lucroy, and then Molina tied it up with his home run. The changeup misses just outside to even it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. St. Louis, an awful lot of opportunities in this game have gone by the wayside. They have stranded 11. Milwaukee has stranded 5. The 2-2. Yanni wanted it. Rosenthal wanted it too. just off the plate, according to Fox Strikes. 3-2 the count.
Yachty really framing that pitch, trying to get it for Rosie.
3-2 is chopped up the first base line and foul. Neuenhuis homered last week against the Cardinals. He has 5 this year, and he came in hitting .300 here at home.
0 for 2 with a walk. Both his plate appearance resulted in strikeouts. Struck out 77 times on the year and not playing every day.
3-2 again. Taken high and a leadoff walk. Neuenhuis with pretty good speed too. He's got 6 stolen bases this year.
Last thing you want to do is walk the leadoff man.
I will say this, when he's missed, it's been just off the plate, where a week ago, 2 weeks ago, it was all over the place.
Yeah, I think that's fair. There'd be nothing wrong with Garcia's playing in for the bunt, but nothing wrong with getting a double play.
But still, a walk is a walk. Here's Perez showing bunt. Up the first base line. Confusion. Jerko there. DeWong covering the bag. Got past Rosenthal under his glove. Then Jerko made the play. And Wong still at the bag and the winning run in scoring position.
Pretty good concentration there for Jerko. Rosie flashing in front of him, and a nice job by Wong to just go ahead and be at the bag just in case. Just in case was recording the out.
Well, if you're the Cardinals here defensively, Al, as you get a look at the concentration of Jerko, your outfielders have to play a little bit more in, undoubtedly, because of the speed of Neuenhuis representing the winning run.
And we talk about the outfield arms. It's really Piscotty, the only one that has a legitimate shot to throw somebody out.
This is Ramon Flores, 0 for 3 on the night. First pitch by Rosenthal. Take it for a ball inside at 96. Here's a 1-0 from Trevor Rosenthal. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Feeling Yachty's going to go out to talk to him. Now they're asking for the training staff. Yachty saw something. I'm sure Rosie agrees with him.
By the way, Andy Wilkins, a left-handed batter, has moved to the on-deck circle.
You saw that little wince at the end. I don't know. It looked like the batter blocked Yachty's view, but you said that Yachty sees everything.
You talked about it earlier. If a player gets hurt, Yachty's usually the first one to pick it up.
I think Mike's trying to say, hey, we got to get you out of here, get some treatment. It's a lower leg issue. I think. And now Mike's asking for O. So Rosie's out of this game. O will inherit the 1-1 count. That's you, big guy.
You can see that Rosenthal is limping ever so slightly when he left the mound, and little gingerly right there. And O will have plenty of time to get loose. So that's it for Trevor Rosenthal. Michael Wacha took a line shot off the heel. He had to leave this game after he went 6 2/3. Bowman and Enning in a third. Rosenthal got 1 out, walked a man, and now Seung-Hwan Oh trotting in from the bullpen where he had not been throwing. He was just sitting there. So Chevy called to the pen, so O will come in with a count of 1 ball, 1 strike on Ramon Flores. Watch the front leg and the landing, that front leg of Trevor Rosenthal.
A stiff front leg, and sometimes looks like you hyperextended, but I kind of want to see him following through from that point. See, kind of jump off the left leg. And I think that's what they're concerned about.
So Seung-Hwan Oh, finishing up his warm-up tosses, will step aside, brief timeout, and come back. 3-3. Ball, 1 strike. 44th appearance for O with the winning run at second base. Was sitting out in the Cardinal bullpen and now comes in this game. The hitter is Ramon Flores. 0 for 3 tonight. New and Ice, the runner at second base. First pitch by O is taken low. Well, if you fall behind here, it's not necessarily the worst thing if he arrives at first base to set up a potential double play and a force along the infield.
Yeah, I mean, but he also has such good control that you feel comfortable with him battling back and coming back from the 2-1 deficit. My problem is when you come in like this, a lot of times you come in a batter or two too soon.
2-1 pitch to Flores. Hit out of play. Talk to O about these types of situations when you're not ready and you're called upon right away. And that's why he's got the nickname Stone Buddha. He says it doesn't change. I'm here to get people out.
And so much of it is mental, and he's been doing this for a long time and extremely successful. So he could walk right in and pitch with his just 8 relief his warm-up pitches.
Fouled back. May have gotten away with that pitch. It's 2-2 the count on Flores. Two-two pitch. This has been a tough game for the Cardinals. Oh, it hit him. I was about to say this has been a tough game for the Cardinals in terms of the injury factor. Saw a sprained ankle. That was Matt Holliday, then lifted in this game late. Wacha, the line drive off his heel. Rosenthal, leg injury of some sort. And so now we see Seung-Hwan Oh in a 3-3 game here in the bottom of the 9th. Runner at first and two runners on and 1 out. Andy Wilkins is the hitter. He's appeared in just 1 game off the bench. Made his Brewers debut on Wednesday at Washington as a pinch hitter. Just was recalled as that pitch is taken low. Took the roster spot of Zach Davies, who is the aforementioned pitcher we talked about, where he was sent down and has been one of their best pitchers this year. He was at AAA Colorado Springs on Wednesday, then called up to the big leagues and a chance to win it. 1 ball, 1 strike. And 11 home runs, drove in 50 at AAA before his call-up.
And there's a little notation with that because you're in Colorado Springs, so how good is he? He did have 17 games at the major league level with the White Sox in 2014 and hit 140.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
They have been Milwaukee and Fred Counsell been keeping an extra reliever at the expense of his bench. So they sent out Zach Davies, who was not going to pitch until after the All-Star break, starter, and bring up Wilkins to give them 5 on the bench.
1-2 pitch, and he struck him out. 2 outs now.
What are you looking for? Fastball right down the middle of the plate.
Villar with a double and a stolen base, number 29 back in the 5th, and it was his line drive off of Walker that knocked him out of the game back in the 7th.
He's 5 for 26 against the Cardinals. And he's got that great speed, leads the major leagues in steals.
Strike 1. Cardinals left in their bullpen: Tyler Lyons, Jonathan Broxton, Seth Maness, Sam Tuivailala. On the bench for Milwaukee, Elmore, Maldonado, and Rivera. Two outs, 2 on. No balls, 1 strike. Villar is struck out, grounded out, the double, and another ground out. 0-1 pitch from O. Taken inside. It was interesting. The Cardinals could have challenged that hit by pitch on Ramon Flores, but at that point it puts him at a 3-1 count. I think they were okay with just saying take first base and not waste the challenge.
Yeah, work over, a fresh count. The thing is, I think Villar is a much better hitter. Eugene out there is now they've been able to communicate, get his point across. What do you think? We hope.
Simple things he knows, like get this guy out. The 1-1 missed it. A lot of times what they'll do too is go through a series of signs and how they want to approach Villar. They may say, here's the next 4 pitches. I won't even put down signs. That's what they've done here. And it's 3-1.
I think that's not the smartest thing with all your pitchers.
Scooter Gennett on deck. There's the winning run, Nieuwenhuis at second base. And the 3-1 from O. 3-2. O trying to send us to the 10th. If we get there, it's Molina, Grichuk, and Wong due up. Hit out of play.
Both runners running, but with 2 outs, you just concentrate on the hitter. You get the hitter out, they have to stop.
Runners at first and second. Off with this pitch, Nieuwenhuis, because of this jump, most assuredly you would think would score on a base hit. There's your base hit to left. Here comes Nieuwenhuis. Throw by Pham to the plate. He can't get him. And Molina wants to make sure we have a review. Very close at home plate. The Cardinals will take a look. If it's not overturned, it's a win for Milwaukee.
Well, it just David Bell, it doesn't matter. Have it checked either way.
A terrific throw by Tommy Pham, and you're right. Mike Matheny's not even going to wait for David Bell. They're going to take a look right now. Nothing to lose.
Strong throw from Tommy Pham. The throw, you got to give the runner a lane. In years past, Yachty could drop that left leg, seal off the home plate, and be out. But here it looks like the leg crosses before the tag on the thigh. Even if Yachty believes he's safe, you still got to sell it.
I think the only thing here right now is whether or not the foot was up going across the plate. If it's not touching it, he's out. What a throw by Pham in left field. Terrific play.
Charged that ball well, came up with great mechanics and threw it on the line. We've seen Tommy make some bad throws, high throws, but this one right on the money. And you said when the 3-2 count, Aaron Weiss with his speed, he did have a little trouble going around third base and might have slowed him up.
Brewers ready to celebrate, and now they will. Budweiser player of the game, Jonathan Villar, his first career walk-off hit, and the Cardinals drop game 1 by the final of 4-3.
Well, they miss an opportunity to pick up ground on the Cubs, but they don't lose ground, but they're back in third place. Bang, bang play, and the Cardinals lose.
Post-game show next.